Hello, here's a very strange video. It's currently 10 to 9 in the morning. I've been here since 8:30. Got in early to the studio today, so I'm the only one in, which means I can record a little video on what I'm doing at university. I'll show you what I'm currently using as my the little extra hands, or whatever they're called, that you typically use for soldering, because I am going to need it when it comes to doing this stop motion puppet. I'll show you my sketch that I've got to do. I've been given the okay to actually do the channel's icon, avatar, my character basically. I've got to sketch out the armature frame, do all my research into materials, contextual reference, designs and everything. Got all this metal to work on. So far I've got one complete joint as the torso joint. Ignore all the aluminium filings under my nail. They actually go grey instead of shiny. Those are actually steel filings, I think. Anyway, works perfectly fine. You can see just how small these are. These balls here have a 3mm diameter and a 1.6 inner diameter. I have a little tapping set now. Did I leave that on my desk? I did. Here's the screws that I'm using. You can see just how small they are. And here's my tap and die set. Basically, for those of you that don't know what this is, these rods here will thread a hole, so you could run a screw into it. So like that, you'd be able to put into the hole if you use one of those on. And then you've got the actual circles themselves, which are called the dies. You use this for both as adapters to either put the tap in or the die. And these are dies. There's one of the adapters there. These here are dies. These introduce a thread onto a rod itself, which is how I've got the thread on that. So those little silver bits are threads that might need rethreading, but it should be fine. So yeah, I am working with steel, aluminium and brass at the moment. The main body is aluminium, which you can see here. I need to take this down and cut it down to size. Well, it's already cut to size. I need to drill the holes in it, tap them, and I need to do some mill work on this, because I need to cut out these sections. You can't do that with the saw, so I'm going to have to take it down to the mill downstairs and basically run a cutting bit through it, which is fine. But yeah, this is my current situation with stuff. Welcome to university. This is where I've been for the past, 4 months, without any update, so there will be some updates soon. Hopefully I've finished Armature. I can't do the silicone skin for it. Like this is just for reference. This is also my old one that I used, the clay rigid piece that you make the casting from. I can't do the silicone body for it because it would take away, you wouldn't be able to see the actual armature frame itself. And it would take more time. It'd be a bit of a pain to try and do in an 8-week project. Basically, I should be specialising on the metal work itself, since I'm on the special effects pathway, which means I typically do welding and animatronics and things. So yeah, this is what I'm working on at the moment. Now, in a bid to not have to use the big loud saw downstairs that I've already used a good few times, because I'd have to book it again and I have to go and get the key to turn it on. In a bid to not use that, I'm gonna borrow my friend's vise and just try and saw through 5mm brass myself. The workshop currently isn't open for another half an hour, so I may as well spend half an hour trying to cut through it, and then go and cut through it afterwards anyway. All these labels here, UA stands for upper arm, it's actually just elbow. I could have put E, but bottom is ankle, and you've got hips, you've got one for the tail, two for the wrist, and then two for the upper arm, which is basically just elbow, because what I was going to put is upper arm and lower arm, and then realised it made sense just to put wrist and elbow, but I'd already done the two top ones. I've basically got to cut these out, and then I will also have to mill these at some point. So yeah. So health and safety just came in, and they well, he has just gone and done a quick check of something, and then I'm in one in the studio, and he's come and asked me how our doors work. We've got some doors at the front of the studio, obviously, as you would, and to get in you need a key card, or your ID card. So you scan it and it lets you in. If you're not on the course, it won't let you in. If you don't have clearance, it won't let you in. They've taken a lot of our tools and machinery away that didn't quite meet health and safety specifications, but it's been here for years. All it needed was a filter changing, but they took the entire tool away. Anyway, I'm hoping they don't take the door away. I quite like having a door in the studio. So it is working. It's very. No, it's not that slow. I suppose it is actually getting somewhere. But it is taking a lot of effort. I might end up just taking it down to the machine saw. I also probably won't give consistent updates because I'm not going to be filming while there are other people in the studio. But I'll show you whenever I can, which hopefully will be early mornings so I can get in early enough most of the days. Okay, it's been a few days now since the last photo or video I took of the work. I'm again the only person in the studio. It's in the evening, so everyone else has gone home. I'm still here because I was determined to finish something. I now can't finish it because I will have to wait until Monday for it. Strange, sound like the fire door. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait until Monday because the workshop's shut and we can't come in on weekends. But I will show you what I have so far. It's just the other hip joint that I can't do at the moment. Yeah, this is basically. I actually can't fit him on screen. Hang on. Let me just tighten the vise because that should adjust the camera. There we go. This is him at the moment. He's got his knee joint, which is just a normal hinge. You can see that there. I'm gonna have to put some form of glue or welding or something in that nut so it doesn't unscrew, because obviously it weakens over time the more you bend it. But this is the hip joint I was talking about. It's just one of the metal or steel plates that I have for the back of these. The hole is ever so slightly off, so I'll have to redo it for the other one. But yeah, you can see a good range of motion out of this. It'll have a silicone skin on it, obviously, when I come to use it for stop motion. For the hand in, it will just be the armature, because I'm on the special effects pathway, which means I can only do I can do the silicone, but obviously if I go and do the silicone skin over it, it will hide all my metal work, so it kind of defeats the purpose of me having done it. But yeah, that's the knee. So it's another one of these that isn't working, just the back bit, which is an easy one to do. It's just a bit of guillotine work and then drilling. That's fine. Don't know if you can see that there. His thigh does turn. This is a grub screw here, and there's a lathed piece of metal for the swivel. So the bit that connects into the brass socket up here has a little groove lathed into it, or turned into it on the lathe, which you can see here. It's just one of these. So the grub screw sits in that space to allow it to turn. And yeah, I need to tighten the grub screw because it's a little bit weak at the moment, but that's that bit. I think the tail's new as well. This is basically the same setup as this, only the grub screw clamps the aluminium in place. I'm actually going to tighten this grub screw quickly because it's a bit loose. I would use my Allen key to tighten it, but the only thing with the Allen key is that it's really, really small, so it wears down too quickly for me to be able to tighten things like this. There we go, it's a bit tighter. yeah, so the tail's the same setup, only it holds the aluminium in place, so I can change the aluminium out. It's a bit wobbly. I don't know if you can see that. It won't come out, like I can't pull it out because it's been screwed into place. But it is really wobbly. I will be using a different gauge for this. This is, I believe, 1 mil or 0.5. I think it's 1 mil thick. I need 1.5 so that it actually properly fills the hole that I've drilled, and then the grub screw will be able to get good grip, and it won't be intertwined pieces, it will be one long strip. But for the moment, just to test, it does work. So obviously you've got the main joint where everything moves from, and then I can adjust the tail throughout like this, which is quite nice. And then I've done the elbow joint since, which are just very small bits of brass with a steel plate on the other side. You can see there is a gap between the brass and the steel. That's done on purpose, so that I can tighten it if I need to. Without the gap, while it would look nicer without a gap, you'd have to be like precise to a decimal of a millimeter, which isn't realistic, especially not if you're doing it by hand like I am. So you need some space there to be able to tighten it. But yeah, this is him so far. I'll show you the Allen key that I have to use to put the grub screws in to begin with. This is it here. It's 0.7 millimeters, so it's not far off being just half a mil. Very thin. I'm surprised it doesn't break. I think it's made out of hardened steel. But yeah, all of my stuff at the moment, like my tooling, my materials, they've all been specially bought in, just so I can actually get enough of a grip on it. So my Allen key, my grub screws, I think even, yeah, all my screws, my normal ones, and the nuts, and the pieces that I use. It's called a tap and die set, which allows you to get like the threads on here. That was also bought in separately. But yeah, this is him so far. I'll be back on Monday to do some more work on him, hopefully early morning, so I'll be able to document a little bit of me setting up for that. But yeah, this is him as of now. Okay, I'm back home for this bit. I brought him home just because it was easier to work on, and I knew I had to stay in today. I had a property inspection, so I had to stay here. I've now got all the bits 3D printed. You can see all the hands here, all the feet. I've just used some filler to get in the spaces there. The little bits that broke off when I removed the supports. Here are all the hands, you can see the mugs as well. All the faces, some of them have filler. How familiar does that look? It's pretty much the same design as last time, only it's got magnets in different places. And it's been supported in different areas as well. All the faces, all the mouths down here, I'm halfway through sanding them. I've just got 5 to go. But here he actually is. This armature is completely finished now. I might grind down a couple of corners just so it's less dangerous when I put the silicone on it. The silicone won't be going on for this project. I'm going to do it as a personal project afterwards. I've just got a curve in his tail because that was helping him stand up originally. But yeah, I just wanted to test his posability, so I put him in a running pose. The odds of my character getting in poses quite this extravagant aren't very high, because, you know, I typically just do explanation videos or funny little one-off jokes with my character. But yeah, very happy with how this is looking so far. I'll give you an update once these are sanded and painted. Okay, I can't remember how long ago I did a video clip for this video. I'm now practically finished with him. He's got all his joints working properly. Actually, no problems at all, which was quite a nice surprise. I need to paint the pupils properly, because at the moment they're just the holes. If you remember my last one, I actually painted the pupils on, so they resembled this guy. This thing is now horrifying to look at. I still love it because it's part of the channel, but, you know, when you compare it, it's kind of way too dark of a green. It was actually quite short. Admittedly, the eyes look a bit friendlier than the one on my new version, but that's because I need to do some work on the eyes still. You might notice the mugs are smaller, feet are smaller, hands are smaller. It's more correctly scaled now. I'll be correctly scaling the rest of the thing as well. Here's all the the hands, the mouths and the eye plates. I've been 3D printing some stuff, so I've got some, not PVA, some Pritt stick on there just to help it stick better because it was such a big piece. And here is half of it. I have to print the other half now. I've decided to record this video while the printer is off because it's quite noisy. Here you can see the failed print. It was going fine, but this edge started to lift and I didn't want it to continue, so I stopped it and let it go overnight. I've now got a nice paint palette, essentially, is what that is. This here, you can see it did still lift anyway, which is fine. It's at the bottom, you're not going to see it. It's quite severe lifting, actually. It's a bit of a pain. Hopefully the other piece will either lift in the same exact way on the matching sides, or just won't lift at all. I plan on putting some EVA foam on the back of this anyway, just so it's a little bit softer, because this is designed to stack. So I've got another one that's the same thickness, and that will house the hands. This entire section here, this is the eye section here. So I've got magnets to put on each of these, and that means the eyes will match up with them. And then you can see the beginning of the mouths here, and the other half is all mouths. You can see I've got Crafty Gecko eyes and mouths, just so I've labelled it. I've repurposed our box from last time. Nice perfect fit. Got the other half still to go, and then I'll have another layer of the hands and the mug. There's just a mug in the middle at the bottom because there was more space. And then we'll have the actual gecko up here. I'm going to use crocodile clips to attach to, I think I'll probably attach them to the rods from where his wrist pegs are, and there'll be an EVA foam loop to hold his tail down so he doesn't flap around. So he'll be housed up here, all the accessories will be here, and yeah, I'll let you know when the rest is done. Okay, I've completely redone my setup for this video. I apologise in advance if it sounds weird or looks weird or whatever. This is currently my backdrop that I'm about to use. Ignore the mug in the corner. It's going to be more zoomed in. I need to do a stop motion to prove that this works properly, or I'd like to do a stop motion to prove that it works properly for my course. I've currently got a ring light set up here. You can see me waving my hand in front of the light. And basically, I have taken the briefcase from my last little latex, kind of creepy, kind of cheap, unprofessional looking stop motion armature, basically, which it was good for how I was working at the time, but my current work is much better than it used to be. So within this briefcase I've reprinted a load of pieces. Hopefully you're actually going to be able to see it when I open it. We've now got a fully fledged shelf unit for him. He goes sideways, which is annoying. I did originally want him to go vertical instead of horizontal, but that's fine. These are just crocodile clips here. If I push these in, they release his wrist, which will be exposed even when his silicone body's done, so that's fine, they can stay there. I've changed the way I've done his eyes. You can see they still move just fine. I put a piece of paper over the hole, glued it in place, painted that circular paper black, and painted the rest blue, and then varnished it, just so it's got a more opaque colour. My previous one, basically, the light would hit it and it would give a weird shadowy effect. It was translucent. This one shows up much better on camera. You can see here I've got spares and tooling. So in here, I currently only have my Allen key, but I plan on getting all the tooling sorted so that if anything breaks I can fix it, and all the spares are in here as well, including this is a piece of foam that covers this, so when I come to silicone casting, that will be put on there and cast within him. Good fun. So yeah, this is where he resides. If we take a look at the actual foam pad that I've got down here, here are all of his faces. So we've got all of the eyes on one side and all of the mouths. I've even gone through and labelled all of these here, so I know what sound they make for the most part. Obviously, M also does like B and P and that kind of sound. S and S is practically the same as Z when it comes to sounds, so that's fine. There's a lot that are covered by these faces. Basically cover every sound you can make. I just haven't listed all of them there because it would take up the entire space, and I basically worked it out fully after I printed all of these for it. So I've got the faces there. They're all magnetically attached, by the way. If I remove this, here are all of the hands. Ignore this awful looking cut. I should have designed it in my 3D file with a dip. I didn't realise until after I went to remove these from their little base that I couldn't get my fingers in, my big fat fingers. So I had to go through with a rotary tool afterwards and just cut all of this plastic out. But you can see that the mug is also just held in using EVA foam. Comes out really nice and easily. You've got the T in there as well. It's just held in with a pressure fit, and it's quite a solid fit as well. So this is now all of my project done. I'm going through the bookwork now, just to obviously explain how I've made everything. I'm about to do a stop motion like I've just said, so I'm gearing up for that at the moment. Yeah, I did end up doing the nice little brass insert here, which therefore means that I also made this brass piece here, which inserts into it. It's not perfect, but it does fit really well. I also made a rig last minute. There will be a video up explaining how to do this. If it's not up already, it will be up soon. It will probably be up way before this, actually. And this is the one before the actual version. This is my prototype for it. The real version should have a flatter base. You'll notice it when I do the video. But yeah, this is essentially, if you know what a third hand is, it's basically the thing that helps you hold wires in place. It normally has a magnifying glass and 2 crocodile clips. And it holds stuff in place while you solder it for circuit boards and things like that. What I did is I removed one of the crocodile clips, I removed the magnifying glass, and I changed one of the crocodile clip brackets out for my brass piece, which just clamped in very nicely. And this actually does very well for my stop motion. You might still be able to see, I don't know if I saved it, but there is a photo that I will be uploading to Instagram that has him running away from me in just like a, I'm gonna grab him kind of thing. I don't know, I just thought it was funny. I was a bit delirious in the studio while I was doing my work. And I've edited the clamp out of it, but he stood on like only his heel, which obviously isn't possible because that balance would be near impossible to match. So I edited this out of that photo. And yeah, basically I am finished now. I'm about to go do a stop motion. That stop motion will be uploaded to YouTube. It won't be in this video, it'll be the one after. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I might do a quick little clip at the very end of this of him animated, but I'll do the full test animation on a separate video. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've really enjoyed making this, as stressful as it has been at times. It's been really fun, it's been a good learning experience, and I now have a new model to use. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.